Alrighty, so here we are in week one. I've shown you the different ways to look at the course content, but in this case, we're going to assume that you have completed the start here and given me your GitHub. If you haven't for some reason, and you can see the dialogue, the discussion between you and I by going into here or going into grades, because once you submit your GitHub repo name, like I showed you before, then on the admin side, what I'm going to do, and I'm actually doing this on another screen right now, is I'm going to invite you into the GitHub repo. Now, what will happen here, and I'm going to show you the two different ways you can do this, is that, and I've just done it, so I'm actually logged into my student account. So let me actually go in here and show you that what you should get. And I say that should because sometimes, depending on the email you're using, this happens to be Gmail. Obviously, that's not required for the course, but I know many people use Gmail. So you could be using the campus email. That's totally fine. So let me show you. Once you get that link in your Gmail, you can join here. But if for some reason you don't, let me actually just walk you through this. So the reason I showed you the screen before was once you get in here, I actually start talking about the steps that you need to take, right? So we're going to create two repos. I'll show you what that means in a minute on the course GitHub organization. Now, this is what I've invited you to when you completed the start here. The reason I'm showing you this link is that for some reason, if you didn't see this invite, if you just click here once I have invited you, once you have submitted your GitHub username, this is what it's going to look like. You'll click on this link. This link will send you to the GitHub organization for our course. And because you are logged into GitHub, it'll say, hey, you've been invited by me, this is me, into CIT82 Web Technologies. And I'll go ahead and you can either view the invite, which is cool. You can actually go and view it, and then you can join. And what that will do is give you, you're added in here, right? So that's step one, is that before you can do these steps, you have to be in the GitHub organization. Now, it's really important that you don't create the following things outside of our organization, because that's part of this work, is doing it internally. All right, so two repos, and I have a specific as far as the way I want you to name them, okay? Your first name, I don't know why plus is there, but I'll get rid of that, plus the first letter of your last name, underscore, and then either public, and this is an or, you'll learn this as you do more coding, or private or public. So that's the two that you're going to create. So let me just do it real quick, okay? So over here, actually, no, over here, because this is where I'm logged in, okay? We're going to create new, yes, in the 82 repo, so you know you're in the right place, Rio W underscore, okay? So now in this case, because actually my, this would be, though, your first name and then your last name, and that's the way I'll do it. And by the way, do make these things lowercase. Let's do the private one first. Doesn't really matter, okay? And Rio's FCC student private repo. Now, guess what happens here? This should be kind of clear because at this point we're doing a private one, so we select private or public. We leave it there. Now on the next one, we'll select public. So just make sure you have the right one selected for the repo that you're creating. Again, we'll do another one in a minute. Now, we could skip this if you're using an imported, which we're not. So we'll go ahead and initialize what's called a README file. README files are great because it gives other people and you the ability to document some of the things that's in here. We're not going to add a get ignore. We're going to do that later in the course, and we'll add no license. So we'll go ahead and create it. So this will give you your first repo, okay? And it will be your private one. So now we're going to do that same thing again. And now I'm going to go back to 82. I'm going to go new again. This time I'm going to do that same. Let me just remind you, right? So it's your first name and then the first letter of your last name underscore. And in this case, we've already done one. So now we'll do the other, right? So now we're going to do FCC. Oh, now see, because I was doing it off. Oh, well, W. That's right. Now I remember. Okay. And so now we're going to do public. Okay. So is always public and it's just giving you, so Rio FCC public repo. Now, a repo is basically just a folder that you can have on the GitHub system that you're going to learn that you're going to use to post work. Okay, so in this case, we're going to click public, right? We're going to go ahead and initialize this. Again, we won't do these two yet, and we'll create it. So now what will happen, and let's just go back and see if I was consistent. Oh, good, I was. So when I see yours show up, and by the way, everyone will see the public ones, but the private ones will only be between you and I. Okay, so just know that that's the case. All right, so let's just click into here. I've already talked about that you need to create two, and then you'll be using this, right? So this will be our setup that you will use, and I will tell you which are the repos that you'll need to post your work in. As a matter of fact, we'll start on that part in just a minute. All right, good job getting through first one. We haven't done the work to actually submit for this assignment. We will do that next. This is just the part to get you set up on GitHub.